Being realtors in the Phoenix area, a lot of people ask us about the process of what it would be to build a custom home.
Absolutely. One of the first steps is a self-evaluation of what they're looking for square footage wise, what they're willing to spend on a custom home, a location. It is quite a process, and certain steps that need to be followed in particular order. They find a lot, they need to make sure, is there gas, is there water, is there power? Some people find a lot that's $100,000 and it's going to require $200,000 worth of retaining walls, excavation, and they're comparing it to a lot that's $200,000 that's ready to go. I would do a lot evaluation. Some people come up to me with 5 lots, and I'll take a look at each one of them and rate them. We also do design and the permitting process, and then of course the home build. So a lot of people don't know where to start. Do they start with a piece of land? Do they start with the bank or the design? So we can help them along all the stages, kind of a one-stop shop. Finding a piece of land most certainly is the first step. Put an offer on the lot and get it locked in with their 30-day due diligence.
For resale homes, 90% of our clients are using financing, but it's different when you're buying land and you're doing construction, and then you're, of course, ending up with a house with a mortgage. So what is your recommendation for people as far as financing?
Yeah, the construction loan to build a house, it's going to require 20% down. Okay. If they have a piece of land and it's worth $200 and it's paid off, the bank will allow for that piece of land to be the 20% equity for the loan.
Okay. And are there other out-of-pocket costs along the way that people should budget for that maybe people don't think of on a daily basis? I mean, they think about buying land. Maybe they already figured, 20% down, the lot's $200,000. That's easy math. But is there anything else I need to have in my bank account that I'm not going to get financing for in order to make this project a success and get us to the finish line?
Yeah, the bank's not going to execute the loan until the complete set of plans are done and permitted, and they're under contract with the builder. Okay. So out-of-pocket expense before that happens is going to be the design, the blueprints, which typically run about $7 or $8 a square foot. They're going to need money for the permit to get the permit, and it all depends on what city and county they're in. It could be $10,000, it could be $40,000, but that's all out-of-pocket expense. They could get it back, they could roll it into the loan, but up front, before they get funded from the bank, they're going to have that money. Depending on what the city is going to require, is it going to require a grading and drainage report, civil engineering, structural engineering. All those will be some out-of-pocket costs before we get to the bank executed loan and start drawing the money out.
How does that work? How does the money from the bank for a construction loan, how does that work? Do they give them a lump sum? Do they pay out in increments? Do they pay you? Do they pay the buyer and then they pay you? How does that all work as far as the money
Typically,
goes?
we'll submit for the draw from the bank, and they'll write Castle Rock Homes the check.
Okay.
If they want to pull money back out for the permitting and plans, they could definitely do that. I've seen that done before, and they would pull that money out.
And on this subject of size, most people we find looking at lots for custom homes are looking at anywhere from half an acre to an acre, maybe more. You can't build, and especially in an HOA, you can't buy an acre lot or a 2-acre lot and put a 1,500 square foot custom house on it. They don't allow that. There's rules. There's rules about what the homes have to look like, that they have to fill a certain amount of the lot, not too much, not too little. So who does the research? Who's the best person to do the research for those kinds of questions? Should the buyer be the one calling the HOA, or are you guys better suited to reach out with those kinds of questions so you know what to ask?
Yeah, during their due diligence on the close of the property, they might want to be checking with the HOA. They can get with us, and we can pull up the information, because a lot of the neighborhoods, Rado, and a lot of the neighborhoods have a minimal square foot per lot size, so we can pull that up. It's a good point, because if they're wanting to build a 2,400 square foot house and they purchase a lot that's a minimum is 3,500 square foot, now they've got a lot that's not going to suit their needs, and they're going to have a lot bigger house. So definitely something that we can help them with. I can get the architect designer to look it up so they'll know roughly, that there's some restrictions on the size of house.
Okay, so obviously there's our type of work as realtor. You're a custom home builder. Is there any other parties involved? I mean, you're talking about architects, designers, all of that. Do you have to go to different places? Do these buyers need to reach out to these other contractors, these other people? Do you refer them to people, or do you do it all at Castle Rock?
No, we do it all at Castle Rock. We'll have our designer architect in house, and then if it's requiring structural engineering, we'll take care of that, and the HVAC engineer, any kind of civil engineer, will take care of all that and get the plans ready for permitting, and then we'll submit the plans for permit and take it through the entire permitting stage, and then when we're done, we'll be under a build contract, and then we'll take over the process and start building the house, and then we'll of course take care of all the subcontractors and have a budget sheet all laid out for the bank and for the buyer, so they know exactly per line item of what each phase is going to cost.
Like, what's a typical build time from start to finish? What should people expect?
Anywhere between 2 to 3 months for the design phase, and then permitting is taking anywhere between the same, about 2 or 3 months, and then the build time is roughly 12 to 16 months, depending on the house design and size. So if someone come in tomorrow and say, "Hey, got my land, let's design and build a house. When can I move in?" I would tell them that they're probably looking at 2 years.
We do a lot with master planned new builds, which is not custom. Either they're built as spec homes, so they've already got all the options selected, maybe already built. Other times you have like option A, B, or C for the front elevation, which is the way the home looks, or for the hinges and the appliances or the countertops and the floors, and you've got packages. And, it might be hard enough to choose package A, B, or C alone, but in a case of a custom home, you guys don't have these preset, pre-designed, already figured out combinations of things. So I'm picturing in my mind, so you have to pick out hinges, you have to pick out doorknobs, you have to pick out, of course, light fixtures, flooring, paint colors, cabinets, countertops. And of course, the more expensive stuff you buy, the more expensive the cost is going to be. So, what's a good way for people to plan for this ahead of time? Knowing me, I would go in, everything I would pick would be the most expensive thing. So how do you give people an idea about how much this house might cost? A 4,000 square foot house can have a huge range.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And they can, you're right. We don't have a predetermined selection of flooring. We're custom. So anywhere they want to go, Floor and Decor, Arizona Tile, they're absolutely free to go and pick out and choose whatever they want. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of homework, and we have our homework assignment sheets that they need to pick their appliances and their colors by this time. And so it's not too overwhelming in the beginning. They don't have to pick everything out, okay, but we do start out with some allowances, like flooring allowances, $6 to $7 a square foot.
Okay.
And so they have that. And then we have the whole, line item cost sheet for the bank, so they know that their appliances, they have $25,000 or $50,000. They tell us up front, are they wanting GE appliances, or are they wanting Wolf and Sub-Zero? Then we can dial that in a little bit. So there's enough money there for that.
Yeah, that's always what I think of. I'm like, I would want a designer to just pick everything for me, because I wouldn't know if this color went with that or whatever. And so that just seems overwhelming to me, but having somebody to be able to help with that or do that with me. Also on budget too, saying $6 or $7 you get per foot, at least for the budget we've got set for you for floor. So if you find something that's $10 a foot, we need to readjust the numbers to make sure you're still comfortable with that. So as far as Castle Rock, I know you guys use the ICF for your builds. So explain a little bit about that, because most homes, especially master planned homes, you see they have the framing stage. You see all the wood beams, being stood up and framed up and all that. But I know you guys build things differently. Do you want to explain a little bit about it?
We do. Castle Rock Homes, 20 years in business, started out building energy efficient homes. That was our biggest thing. So we used a technology called ICF, insulated concrete forms. Those are those styrofoam blocks you stack up like Legos and fill with concrete. So the entire home is concrete with 2.5 inches of foam on each side. So it's extremely energy efficient. It's fireproof, disaster-proof. You just name it. It's a very quiet, very well-built, safe house. And so we started out doing that, found out that was a little bit of a market niche, and come up with a sister company called ICF Specialists, and that's all they specialize in, nothing but ICF installs for other builders and for commercial projects. So So all the Castle Rock homes are built with solid concrete, insulated concrete forms. And
And is ICF, is it a more costly process or method than just framing up with wood, or?
it is going to cost a little bit more. I think it's like a 2 or 3% more.
Oh, okay.
So it's very minimal, and you're going to save 50 to 60% on your energy costs. Yeah, so it's got its payback.
Okay, so we have some questions that some clients have specifically asked us that we wanted to just go through really quick with you, and just I'll rattle off the questions and you provide the answers so that we can get these people the answers that they've been looking for. So first one, working with Castle Rock, is there a warranty like the big builders offer?
Yeah, we have an amazing warranty package. We do the standard 10-year for structural and 10-year for roof. And then we have the package that every builder has, which is a 2-year warranty on all those appliances and those things that things go wrong, HVAC, electrical. But we extend that to 5 years with a third-party warranty company.
I know being around for 20 years is great because sometimes warranties are only as good as the company that's backing them. So next question is, do I still get to inspect a custom home with an independent home inspector?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The owners are free to come in at any stage, and sometimes they're there every day. Sometimes they come in weekly and monthly, and they can bring anybody they want to come in and inspect the framing, electrical. Of course, we'll have our inspectors, and then we'll have the city inspector coming through to make sure everything's code compliant. But yeah, we welcome the owner to bring anybody in that they would like to, take a look at it and just make sure everything's good. We have no problem with that at all.
What do people get from Castle Rock as opposed to other builders?
You know what? It's me and my brother's company, so we're a small company. So we can be very personal with people. They're going to talk to me, all the time. The communication is key on these things, and they're going to hear from me throughout the entire build. I'll be involved with every step of the way. I've got superintendents in the field, but yeah, that's what they're going to get with Castle Rock.
Does Castle Rock have any plans that are already drawn up that people could potentially choose from to save money on drawing up totally custom plans?
We do. Yeah, we have several plans online, and we have hundreds of plans to choose from. If they found a plan and they liked it exactly like it is, then the designer and the architect will redraw it with the current codes and the current HOA and everything, and she'll charge a significantly reduced fee.
When people do come in for the custom idea, what's the best way for people to describe what they want? I would know what I would like if I saw it, but I couldn't show up to your office and say, let me draw you a picture of what I want.
I let people know that before you come in for your initial preliminary design consult, that you bring in, I don't care if it's 10 different floor plans, and you like the kitchen out of this one, and you really like the master suite in this, and the living room or whatever pieces you like from each one, and let's put it on the table, and when we present you with the floor plan, it's going to be really close to what you're wanting.
Someone says, instead of starting with the realtor and the lot, I'm going to start with the builder, and I'm going to show up to Castle Rock and say, I want this, can you draw up plans? Is that a potential order people should go in, or should they not do plans prior to having the lot? Like, does it matter which order they go?
If they want to come in and talk about plans, the cost, and the process, we'll do that. But it's interesting you said that. Just last month, I had a guy come in and ready to write a check for a set of plans, and without an address for a lot you own, we're not going to do that, because you're going to spend $30,000, $20,000 on a house plan that's 85 feet wide, and you can't find a lot that fits on, or the orientation's wrong. And so we take that lot, which way is it facing, north, south, and where do you want that kitchen window at? So we will not design a set of house plans without the lot.
Okay, so tie up the lot like we talked about, maybe not close on the lot till they talk to you. Make sure that you have enough information that you can decide whether that's going to be a lot we can build this general plan on, and then we'll design, once we stick with this lot, then we'll design the real details of the home around the lot.
Exactly right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Gary. I mean, we really appreciate you coming out and talking about this. It's given me a lot that I didn't know, that I've learned, that I can now take along and pass on to people who have these questions. But for people who are interested in talking more with you or have further questions that didn't get answered today, what's the best way to get in touch with you at Castle Rock?
The best way is to go online. It's castlerockhomes.us.
Okay.
Not .com.us.
Okay.
And we have a form out there they can fill in, and it'll go straight to the office, and then our office manager get back with them, put them in touch with me. Or you can call direct line 623-640-9770, and either way works perfect.
And you work valley-wide. I mean, west side, central Phoenix, Scottsdale, east side.
The major Phoenix area, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again for coming out, and we hope to work with you in the near future here.
All right, Matt. Appreciate it. Thank you.